Now I want to talk about the biggest exploit in this game. It's any type of paralyzing spell. Sleep is very useful early on, and then later Hold Person becomes more useful. Hold Person allows you to pick and choose who you want to try to paralyze. Stinking Cloud is a very useful spell later on because it can paralyze monsters. But beware, because monsters can also paralyze you, which is a very bad thing. Another good strategy is to interrupt spellcasters. Often you can do this with a magic missile. Here a priest is trying to cast a spell. Another great exploit is the Charm Person spell, which only works on humanoids. It turns them on your side during combat. Sometimes it's great to cast on a high-level creature, such as a 6th level thief. And now for the best spell in the game, Fireball. This hits such a large area and does quite a bit of damage. The damage is based on the level of your spellcaster. You can see it just taking down all these ghouls. Half damage is done if the monster makes its saving throw, which happens only usually on high-level creatures. Some monsters are powerful enough to take the full blast, such as these wights. But be careful, because you can actually catch your own party members in the blast. Fireball's great to cast on all those annoying enemies that have low hit points, but you need to take them out to win the battle. But just be careful, because you can catch your own party members in the blast, as we just killed our own. Some spells are less useful, but nevertheless still nice to have, such as Bless. Bless allows you to target party members, and it's smart enough to not bless the enemy. Sometimes when adventuring, you'll run across enemies such as this, and you can choose to fight them, wait, flee, or advance. Once you get close enough, you can parley with them. Sometimes, depending on the types of creatures, you can be abusive and scare them into running. Other times, if you're nice, they won't attack you. Here, these kobolds want and demand a payment from us. And in this case, the monsters flee. Sometimes you get surprised by enemy, which means the enemy gets to just wail on you for free for a round or so. Some encounters in the game are preset, such as this one. It gives a story to the game. There's 3 main ways to open a door. You can bash using strength, pick using a thief, or cast the knock spell. Throughout the game there's also secret doors. Elves are fantastic at finding secret doors. Another feature is to use the look command, which can sometimes find hidden items or other treasure that you wouldn't normally find. The game also has search mode, which you must enable or disable, and spends 10 minutes of time per square traveled. Obviously, you get quite a bit of experience by finding treasure throughout the game. When finding treasure, you may be tempted to take it all, but just keep in mind that every piece of electrum, gold, and silver weighs the same amount. How much a character can carry is based on the number of item slots and their encumbrance. Here you can see that our character is overloaded. In this case, he's overloaded because he's carrying too many items. Sometimes it's because they don't have enough strength. Now I'm going to show you a trick you can do if you do have a whole assortment of coins such as this. All you have to do is go to a weaponsmith or an armorsmith, any shop basically, and purchase some items while the money has been pooled. And what happens is the storekeeper will make change. And see, we've consolidated all that to platinum pieces. Another cool feature of shops is the ability to identify magical items. Here we just identified these bracers. It's a little pricey in the beginning, costing 200 gold, but as you adventure further into the game, 200 gold isn't that much. Now you'll notice that as we were selling these items, all of them were selling relatively cheaply, and then all of a sudden the guy offers 1,000 gold. That's always a sign that the item's magical. You can also appraise gems and jewelry, and you can choose to sell them and get the gold, or you can keep them. And no role-playing game would be complete without having a temple of some sort to do healing. It's very pricey, especially for beginning characters. You can see that they can cure blindness, disease, wounds, neutralize poison, raise dead, remove a curse, or undo someone who's stoned. And no, not the fun kind of stoned. Next we take a journey to the training hall. This is a place you go to train your characters and increase their level. You can only do this after earning a certain amount of experience points. Each character class has a different requirement for how much they need, and it's also based on the level. Here we can see our cleric becomes level 2. The various guilds will only train the classes that the teachers want to train. In this case, this guild is only for clerics. So we run across the hall, and they train magic users. As you can see, we don't have enough experience points yet for them. Magic users require the most experience. But after you do level up, a magic user gets the ability to learn a new spell. And by the way, I recommend Magic Missile, unless you have a scroll to describe it. Next thing, you go into a room where there's dueling pairs. And the arena master asks if you want a duel. Basically what dueling does is you select a character, and it is a clone of yourself, and you fight it, and if you win, you get experience. Otherwise, you lose all your hit points, and you have to rest or get them back. So here I chose my magic user, and they just duke it out until they find a winner. The winner gets 100 experience points per level of the character. The other thing that you can do is ask for a partner to help you with adventuring. So here we're going to say yes. A fine warrior. Nah, I think we'll pass on a warrior. Fine warrior. No, thank you. A warrior. No, thank you. Okay, here's an evoker. No thanks. Warrior? Oh, come on. You gotta be kidding me. An evoker? No. I already said no. There we go. Thurgist. 4 shares. They'll take 4 shares of money. No thanks. That's too expensive. A warrior? Okay, this is getting old. Okay, so we'll go on to the fighters area. And we can train some of them now. Dane goes up in level. None of our others either have enough experience or it won't train that type. So of course the last one is for rogues. Rogues require the least amount of experience to increase in level. One thing I want to mention though is multi-class characters divides the amount of experience by the number of classes they are. Here we're going into City Hall where you obtain all your missions. The clerk shuffles through her papers and she tries to tell you the types of things you can do. The main one is to clean out the slums area, and then usually you'll go on to Sokol Keep and take out that. The cool thing is you can do all these at the same time. There isn't a certain order in which you have to do them. Now in the City Hall, if you try to go through a door you're not authorized, the guards will appear here and block you. It's best to not fight them. Oh, but don't you worry, because we will later. Flan also has silver shops, which aren't very useful, but if we look at the types of items here, you can see that most of them are weapons and armor. The purpose of that is when fighting undead creatures. There's also a general store where you can buy these holy symbols and mirrors. I like to buy flasks of oil for my clerics. It's the only ranged weapon that clerics can use, and they also do a lot of damage. If we equip it here, you can see it does 2d6. That means it does 2 through 12 damage. Now I'm going to show you a little gem, pun intended, of a shop that is hidden behind this general store. It's the jewelry shop. The cool thing about jewelry is as your money builds up throughout the game, you can start dumping it all into jewelry, which doesn't weigh much, and then you can just keep dumping them together and grouping them into multiple items. And of course, no RPG is complete without the ye olde tavern. You can hear tales, you can gamble. Sometimes you can get in brawls, like right here somebody's trying to grab my purse. So I'm going to start a fight.